Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And thanks for joining us for another edition of the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by City Manager Mark Roloff. As usual, in the first half of today's show, we'll have some municipal news updates, including items from city departments and things happening in Oshkosh. In the second half, we'll highlight some items from the upcoming Tuesday, April 26th Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in City Manager Mark Roloff. Mark, thanks for being here.
Great to be here, Andy.
Well, we have a lot of different things coming up here today, and one item that just recent is Oshkosh is participating in No Mow May, and the registration portal is now open.
It sure is. No Mow May is a conservation initiative that was actually suggested by our Sustainability Advisory Board that encourages people to stop mowing or mow less during the month of May, and that's really when the bees are buzzing and all the pollination is happening. So the belief is that bees will do better and flowers will do better if we, scale back a little bit on our mowing.
Mm-hmm. And I know that registration just opened up just a day or two ago, and already 116 people have signed up, literally overnight.
Yeah, literally overnight. This is the second year of the program, but this year we decided, because we wanted to make sure that the people who were really genuinely interested in doing this were identified, and then anybody else who may not be following the rules and not taking care of their lawn on an active basis, that's a separate situation. So 116 residents filling us out saying they'd like to register for it. That's great. Demonstrates a real commitment, and we're excited that they're wanting to do it. And if other people are interested, you can just register at the website there that you see, and you're all set to sign up for No Mow May. It's really easy. It's really just giving us your name and address so we know you want to do it, and we know how to contact you.
Right, exactly. And that portal is available through the city's website, and it's in the Hot Topics section. So registration deadline is April 29th, so that's coming up.
Right, and if you don't register, then you're considered that you did not register for the program and that you're not following the rules. So properties that haven't registered will be subject to regular penalties for lawn grasses or weeds. But we do get calls from people saying, this property isn't mowing their grass. If they're registered, then we know why, and we can explain to the resident why. Otherwise, we're going to have to do the enforcement.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And I should mention, too, the Connect Oshkosh app also has a link to sign up for No Mow May, so you can look there as well. All right, and in addition to our grasses and pollinators, we also have a lot of beautiful trees in Oshkosh. And once again, Oshkosh continues with its designation of being a Tree City USA.
Yep, our 41st consecutive year. So that really says a lot about our community's commitment to having a great urban tree canopy. It says a lot about our forestry division, because you have to demonstrate you're using certain practices that promote a good urban forest. So congratulations to our Parks Department and our Forestry Division in particular for doing that.
Mm-hmm. There's several standards that the city has met or exceeded, and there are also several resources that are available to the city through this program as well. So a lot of benefits.
Yeah, absolutely, and we appreciate the Arbor Day Foundation for making that happen. And speaking of which, we are going to have an Arbor Day a program here in the city coming up.
That's right. It'll be held over at Carl Traeger Middle School on April 28th. And it's more or less a school program that'll be held at that location there. But the students will be able to participate in a tree planting and another program there as well.
Yeah, these programs are wonderful, and it's going to be great that you guys at Oshkosh Media are going to be recording it so that people will be able to see the benefits. And it's really a great education program for the kids to learn about the benefits of trees, and especially in an urban environment, because people say, oh, trees are for the country. Trees are for the city too. They do a lot of benefit.
Right, quite a bit. And as Mark mentioned, you can take a look at the Oshkosh Media YouTube channel, and after April 28th, that program, that Arbor Day program will be posted, and you can take a look at it there. All right, also we have some new things happening over at the Oshkosh Public Museum. They have a new initiative that they're working with the Oshkosh Area School District. And so, this is an aspect of the museum that maybe people don't always realize, that they're very involved in educational programs.
Very much so. They're very committed to it, and part of this program is to make the school children aware of local history and how relevant it is to where we are today in Oshkosh. So the museum has created these packages known as inquiry kits, and they have a combination of museum artifacts and a little bit of the social studies curriculum for the school district, as well as what they call tactile learning, getting your hands on stuff and really seeing it. Truly hands-on learning. So it covers a variety of topics, which is really neat. They've got First Peoples is one of their topics, mining and logging, the Civil War era, and the fur trade. All different phases in this area's history. And I got a chance to go over to the museum and get my hands into some of the inquiry kits, and I can see how third and fourth graders are just going to love this. And then hopefully families will have a great experience at the museum through this program, and then maybe want to get their whole family to go and visit the library or the museum and just see the other things that are also available at the museum for families of all ages.
Sure. It sounds like a very innovative program, and also makes learning fun. So that's a neat opportunity. If anybody has any questions about how to participate in that program, especially if you work in education, Katrina Achille at 920-236-5776 would be your contact person to get signed up for the inquiry kits and to work with your classroom. So good opportunities there. All right. Also, the Oshkosh Police Department is welcoming a new person to their staff to work with crisis situations.
This is an initiative that was started with the police department initially when we created a behavioral health officer position.
Okay.
And then with the direction of council, adding to the budget a partnership to fund with Winnebago County to get a crisis worker, someone in the social work business, to partner with our behavioral health officer, Scott Zapata, and his therapy dog, Magic, who we were introduced to you not too long ago. So there's Officer Zapata with Magic. It's just a wonderful little addition, and Magic must love the camera there. But Scott's out there dealing with crisis issues, and now Kayla Rodriguez is the crisis worker. She'll be working with Scott, going to calls, and if it really is more of a social work type of situation, they're going to be there to offer support and access to resources, so that it's not just a police call, it's a call that can start somebody on their way to correcting whatever issues they may be facing in their life. And we recognize that is a large part of a lot of our calls for service, and anything we can do to direct people to resources to help them address those issues is really going to be a good thing.
Well, it's a very good resource to have, and another reason why our Oshkosh Police Department receives the recognition that they do.
Yeah, and our police department recognizes there have been an increase in the number of calls for service that they've received for people experiencing mental health issues. So this is something that our police department recognizes. All of our officers are trained in some element of behavioral health, but it's really getting, first you de-escalate the situation, and then you provide the resources to get folks back on their way to good mental health. So we're going to be part of that, and we're happy to be collaborating with Winnebago County Human Services on that.
Very good. All right. Also, our Oshkosh Fire Department has recently recognized some employees and community members for their contributions to the fire department.
Yeah, the second annual Fire Department Award Ceremony was held on Saturday, April 2nd. 100 firefighters and their guests attended, and a lot of employees and community members received recognition for their outstanding performance in many different categories. And each recipient received a plaque, and this is just an example of the wonderful work and dedication that our emergency service professionals provide. So we were happy to be part of that. Great that you guys were able to get some video of it to show the dedicated people that we have that work over at the Oshkosh Fire Department.
Mm-hmm. Oftentimes they're behind the scenes. They don't get that sort of recognition that they've earned and deserve, frankly. And so it's wonderful to have an opportunity like this to recognize those folks.
Yeah, it was a wonderful event, and I think we're going to see this in future years because of how well it was received and great attendance. So I think the employees appreciate it, knowing that the work they do is appreciated and valued in our community.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, another project that is coming up in Oshkosh, it's a fiber optic construction project, and folks might be seeing some activity happening, and we just wanted to fill them in about what's taking place here.
Yeah, there's a telecommunication service provider that's entering the market here, so they're out primarily in residential areas to extend utilities. The company's TDS, some people may be familiar with them, but they're going to be out there, and one of the things they're going to be doing is putting door hangers on if they're going to be working near your property. Mm-hmm. They should be getting permission to enter your property, but the idea is with these door hangers is if you have any questions or concerns, you can call them. These are not city projects. We do give them right-of-way permits, which allows them to work in the public right-of-way. Mm-hmm. That doesn't give them the right to enter a person's private property. We don't have the ability to give that authority. So I know a lot of people don't always use their front doors, so check out your front door and see if you got one of these door hangers so you're not surprised if this company's out there doing some work. And of course you can always sign up to or call them to let them know that you have some concerns or questions about what's going on.
Right. My understanding is that the whole project will take about 24 to 30 months for them to complete the installation for the whole city of Oshkosh, and they're working by neighborhoods. So
right. So if you don't see anybody right now, you probably won't see them for quite a while. But if you see them like down the street or around the corner, chances are they're going to be in your neighborhood or near your doorstep fairly soon. So keep an eye out for that, and we want people to be aware of it. We're going to hold them accountable for things in the public right of way, but it's going to be up to you to contact them if they are on your property and they shouldn't be there, or they're doing something they said they were not going to do and they're doing it. Yeah, of course you want to let them know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Also, recently there have been a lot of discussions about masking regarding public transportation and airlines and everything like that. Our local GO Transit is also affected by those federal guidelines, and so recently masks were no longer required on public transport, and our local buses are following that same guidance.
We've been following CDC guidelines as well, in this case the Federal Transit Administration guidelines that were requiring us to require masks of our passengers as well as our drivers. That was thrown out of court this past week, so masks are no longer required. We still are following CDC recommendations. They recommend that masks be used, but they're not required. So I would just say if you see somebody that's wearing a mask, respect their comfort level that they want to keep a mask on, or if you're that person, hopefully people will extend you that same courtesy. We're going to continue to use a lot of safety precautions on GO Transit, regardless of the mask situation. We've got air filtration systems in all of our buses. We do daily cleanings, and we ask riders to stay home if you're experiencing COVID symptoms, and we do the same thing with our drivers. So we want you to have a safe, healthy ride, and we're going to do everything we can to help meet those needs. But no masks from a requirement standpoint anymore.
Right. And stay tuned. We'll stay abreast of any changes that happen in that area. Okay. Also, we just wanted to add another plug for folks to like and follow our new City of Oshkosh government Facebook page, and take a look there for that. And we have updates on a lot of current topics, and so far we have well over 400 people that have signed up in the short time it's been online.
Well, that's good. I mean, we're going to see more people as time goes on. We still have a lot of our other Facebook pages that people are using, and that's certainly okay. But we're going to be gravitating a lot of general information over to this site and covering all the different departments. So this will be your portal to everything in the City of Oshkosh government. So take a look at it, like it if you can, and hopefully you'll learn some great stuff and become an informed citizen.
Mm-hmm. And we always share things from other departments, and we have the latest news posted there. So if you really want to stay up to date of the latest that's happening with the City of Oshkosh, follow that page, and you'll learn something. All right, Mark, I think it's time to take a short break here, and we'll be back shortly right after this message with some highlights from the upcoming Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. We'll be right back.
There's something about the forest, hiking through the woods, looking up to the treetops. Forests bring people together, feed the soul, and improve our well-being, cleaning the air we breathe, the water we need, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. The time to act is now. The forest needs us. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, along with City Manager Mark Roloff. Let's turn our attention to the upcoming Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda, and those items are on the agenda for the April 26th Oshkosh Common Council meeting. And we have some different things here under the consent agenda. We have adoption of the 2022 Winnebago County Hazard Mitigation Plan, and I understand that we work in collaboration with Winnebago County on this.
Yeah, the Emergency Management Department over at the county takes the lead on preparing a hazard mitigation plan, which is essentially trying to cover all different types of emergencies, natural disasters that could potentially happen, and some general guidelines for how to address that issue. Then they turn around to the different communities and say, we want you to look at this to, number one, at least acknowledge that it does exist, so that's a resource that you can use, and that you understand that that's pretty much how the plan to address these emergencies should be done. So they're going around to all the different cities, villages, and towns, and so I think we're first on the list to get it adopted, and we've done this in the past, and it's very appropriate. We continue to work with emergency management. They helped us with a test. What was it called?
Tabletop?
Yeah,
exercise?
a table. It was more than a tabletop, but it was a make-believe emergency.
Okay.
6 months before COVID hit,
Oh.
and it really helped us a lot because I wish we could say we did the greatest job in the world, but we didn't, and we learned a lot. So when COVID did hit, I think we did a great job in responding because of the lessons we learned. And this mitigation plan helps us prepare for those types of emergencies, because you can pull out a different emergency and say, okay, what things should we be thinking about? Because your head's racing when these things happen, and you want to make sure that you're thinking through all of the potential scenarios that might happen. And that's what this does. This document is huge. We didn't print it out for the council because literally it's like that, a couple inches thick.
800 pages,
Yeah,
I think.
it's really big, but it's very valuable. And for emergencies, I think it's important that we work together for these types of things.
Mm-hmm. And Winnebago County does quite a bit for emergency planning and preparation, and this is just one example. Later in the agenda, we have, speaking of emergencies, the Oshkosh Fire Department is looking for approval of the purchase of a new fire aerial apparatus.
This is something that we did talk about at the last council meeting, and this is sort of the action as a result of that. we've talked about, and people have heard a lot these days about supply chain issues. This apparatus is planned for replacement in 2024.
Okay.
We've been informed that it's going to take 22 months of lead time to get this aerial truck replaced. It's called a quint, and this is one of our existing quints that is used. But this is for higher buildings, taller buildings, and having the ladder truck out there is important. But because of the lead time, we're amending our capital improvement plan to authorize ordering it right now, so that we are basically in line to get our truck, hopefully this time 2 years from now. But that's really the type of thing that we have to do to make sure that we're staying on top of our equipment replacement and making sure that we're responsive to all the limitations that are going on with supply chain issues.
So really it's advanced planning and making sure that our budget can adjust to this purchase then.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little later about how another way we're trying to adjust as well. So it's really important that we do that.
Okay. All right, and then in the agenda, we also have a number of special events that are coming up. One that we just wanted to point out in particular is the Memorial Day procession coming up this year on May 30th. It will have a different route this year, and that is mainly because of the Algoma Boulevard reconstruction that's taking place.
That's right. Normally we start in the downtown area and just go up Algoma Boulevard to the cemetery, but because of the construction on Algoma to the south, we're going to start at Oshkosh North High School, just scoot over on Smith down to Vinland, over to Murdoch, and then back up to Algoma Boulevard. There are a lot of different bands and veterans groups that really want to honor our fallen veterans, and we feel that we still need to have this Memorial Day procession, particularly since the last couple of years we haven't been able to do it. So we're going to change the route up a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too disruptive to the residential areas in the immediate area, but it'll only be for this year. We'll be back on Algoma in 2023, but if you're planning to go out there to honor our veterans and our fallen comrades, this will be the route that you'll take, and we certainly welcome everybody to participate in that on Memorial Day on May 30th, so that we can do those appropriate honorings.
And if you are unable to make the procession, just keep in mind that Oshkosh Media will have coverage on our channels and outlets, so we will be able to show that to you in its entirety at the new route, and stay tuned for more details about that. All right, Mark, under new resolutions, we have the approval of a project plan for that's within a tax increment district.
Yeah, this is in the Marion Road area. It's actually the second phase of what was called Morgan Crossing. This is phase 2, and so we create tax increment districts when the project is ready. A lot of places do very large TIF projects. We have a plan for the general area, and then we work on TIFs on an as-needed basis. So this is an example of some renderings of what it will look like. This is right along High Avenue, just between Algoma and Marion Road. So you can see we've already gotten a lot of building going out there, and this will be the next phase of development that we'll be seeing out there. This is Morgan District is already, or Morgan Crossing is already there along Pearl, I believe it is.
I believe so.
Yeah, Pearl. So you'll see this continue in the next couple months after the district, assuming it gets approved.
There's quite a bit of construction that's happening there right now, and look for more to be continued there. All right, then we also have another new resolution, and this is over at the Oshkosh Menominee Park Zoo for a new exhibit.
This is super exciting. This is an exhibit that's going to be a Barren Fox exhibit. This has been in our master plan for the Menominee Park Zoo for a number of years, and we're very fortunate to have a wonderful benefactor, the Tom and Penny Herrenberg Family Foundation, that makes all of this possible. This is probably going to amount to about $1.4 million, and we partner with the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation and the contractor C.R. Meyer to get this exhibit done. But it's adding indigenous animals and settings to our zoo rather than having, a lion or a tiger, from another continent. We have animals that are indigenous to our area. And Tom and Penny Herrenberg deserve a world of thanks for all that they've done to, they helped make the eagle exhibit happen, the wolf exhibit happen, and now we're moving forward with this Barren Fox exhibit. So it'll be constructed over the next year, and then we have to start looking for those animals. But the first step is to get a home that is appropriate in a zoo setting, that's safe for the animals and a great learning experience for children and families. So we're excited about it and looking forward to it being added to our zoo.
And the zoo will be opening up very soon, and we also are very thankful that there's no admission charge for the zoo. When folks come to visit, they don't need to pay an admission fee.
And that's also due to the generosity of the Tom and Penny Herrenberg Foundation. They make a donation every year. Basically, they say, we got it covered, and put money in the box before you have to. So it's really great.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, and then we also have another item at the toward the end of the agenda regarding our debt issuance and our financial matters.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the issue I talked about earlier with supply chain issues, and now in this case, the borrowing rates for us are starting to go up, and we're trying to maybe be a little preemptive by borrowing for some of our 2023 projects in advance to get a better rate. Then we can start planning those projects, getting them done so they get completed in a more timely fashion, but we also just do it at a lesser borrowing rate. Council took a look at this and felt that it was appropriate for us to see if we can maybe get roughly half of our borrowing done for next year, get it done now when we think the rates are going to be lower, and that'll save taxpayers money, and that's really what we're trying to do. Working
in advance and trying to plan ahead while we still have those lower rates. All right, and then also, Mark, there is a new Downtown Oshkosh Neighborhood Association.
There is, and this is interesting because most, if not all, of our previous neighborhood associations have been very residential based. And this is a little different, and they talk to the neighboring residential neighborhood areas around the downtown, but the downtown businesses felt, hey, maybe we should create our own separate district. And so the area you see in yellow that's highlighted there, it says downtown. It kind of covers most of the area of the downtown business improvement district, but that area also includes, like on a lot of second floors and above, you have residences there, but you also have businesses that are very committed to the area. So there is no restriction on who can create a neighborhood association. So the businesses in that area have taken the lead, and we're excited to add them to be another new neighborhood association. And if you are so inclined that you want your neighborhood to be create a neighborhood association to be created, give us a call at 236-5126. That's over at Planning Services, and they will help set you up with creating a neighborhood association for yourself and your neighbors.
Well, there are a lot of benefits with neighborhood associations, and folks have a lot of resources available if they're in one of those associations, so it's wonderful to have that.
Yeah, and Planning Services can give you that very that very detailed information. Again, the number is 920-236-5126.
Okay, very good. Well, Mark, we're out of time, so I guess we'll call it, we'll wrap it up at this point. Thanks again for joining us today.
Always a pleasure, Andy.
All right. And then thank you also for joining us today. Again, that Oshkosh Common Council meeting is at 6 p.m. this Tuesday, April 26th at City Hall, 215 Church Avenue. You can watch it live on GovTV, that's Spectrum Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, and streaming on YouTube and OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can also listen to it on the radio, that's Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online and on the TuneIn radio app for phones and tablets. You can also use your favorite streaming device, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. Just search for the Oshkosh Media app. And you can always visit our YouTube channel for government meeting archives and the full library of Oshkosh Media programming. Join us again in 2 weeks for another City Managers Report. Thanks for watching.